Thanks very much for your company. I am Pius Kujobaka. Let's now settle for the details. And government, with the help of the World Bank, has completed work on the rationalization of some social intervention programs like the free SHS. Some of the initiatives have come under scrutiny by the country's development partners following concerns of rising expenditure. This could see some of these programs reviewed in relation to funding. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been giving more details on PM Express Business Edition, which airs tonight at 9 p.m. on this channel.
No, we did a lot of work on that, and I think one of the auditing firms, and those were part of the structural benchmarks that were needed for this approval, the SLA that we received. Also for the DPO from the World Bank, which will be about $300 to $500 million also in December. These were all boxes that we had to tick. So about 17, I believe, such programs were looked at, and therefore we'll incorporate them into the budget this year.
Little Bear told me that the bank in principle has approved some $300 million to Ghana under the budget support program. Should be coming in December. Again, what do you make of this development?
Well, George, continues to go to say where we are as a country and the favor we have found and the hard work that we have done. Not only is the DPO going to lead to the releasing of $300 million, but also the Ghana Financial Stabilization Fund will also result in another $250 million so that we can make sure that the banks are strong, solvent, and also liquid.
You heard Finance Minister speak to my colleague George Yafe on PM Express Business Edition, which airs tonight here on the channel. Let's go to one of our headline stories we have for you. The Bank of Ghana has launched the e-Cedi hackathon to bring together the brightest minds in technology and finance to explore the endless possibilities of central bank digital currency. Let's go live on Zoom and speak to Director of Fintech and Innovation Office at the Central Bank, Kwame Opong, to provide further information on this e-Cedi hackathon. Thanks so much, Mr. Opong, for joining me here on Business Live. First of all, tell me about this hackathon thing and what is the e-Cedi hackathon basically?
And good evening to your listeners. So the e-Cedi hackathon is a follow-on from our e-Cedi pilot project, where we experimented with the central bank digital currency, a digital version of our Ghanaian cedi. Now we're at a point where, since as a central bank we have said that we want to see the e-Cedi positioned to enable the financial sector, we have actually introduced this new concept of a hackathon, which really is an innovation challenge. And in our case, this is a 12-week innovation challenge that brings together the brightest minds, from technology developers to blockchain enthusiasts to economists to financial analysts, and frankly, many people from different backgrounds, to either by themselves or form teams to create solutions that consumers may be able to use someday on the back of the e-Cedi. So that's what the challenge is about.
All right, so why is the Bank of Ghana considering or organizing this hackathon thing you are mentioning? And really, what is the primary goal?
Thank you. I think for us, the research process that we undertook with regards to CBDC, this forms a part of it. And for our ability to understand how it would work in the real world so that we can adequately architect how it works on the back end as well is something that is important to us. But this also presents us with an opportunity to really explore the technology further beyond what we have done. We've had a successful pilot over the last year. And subsequent to that, we want to understand how we can go further to see how the market will use it and be able to see how we can further create some enablement from a legal, regulatory, and even operational and technology level at the back end to enable that for the financial service providers so consumers can ultimately benefit in a way that is more relevant to their needs.
And what are some of the areas of interest that you seek to explore with this hackathon?
So primarily, we want to be able to use this hackathon to see the type of innovation that we can see in some critical areas of payment. One is merchant payment. The majority of transactions in Ghana are between individuals and businesses. And so can we see some innovation in that space? Secondly is government payment. Can we also see some innovation in introducing efficiencies in government payments as well. And two key areas that are important for us, which is the agricultural agriculture and trade. These are two priority areas that we want to see how people can use the e-Cedi to really create some innovation there. I should mention that there are some other areas that are non-payment related that we believe the e-Cedi can be used to add value. For instance, in the area of consumer protection, in the area of data privacy, in the area of combating illicit transactions, and even KYC models and solutions. These are all areas and things that we think the e-Cedi could potentially, innovations on the back of the e-Cedi could add value to the financial sector. So those are some of the priority areas.
I see. Who are your participants? Individuals, businesses?
Right. So actually, you don't even need to have a company, but certainly if you're a business, you could be a bank, you could be a fintech, you could be an individual, or you could be a group of people. You can come together and put in a proposal for us to review. And if you're shortlisted, you get the opportunity to be part of this hackathon. And I should also mention that Ghanaians, so this is meant for Ghanaians, but non-Ghanaians who are interested can join teams of Ghanaians to participate in this hackathon as well.
And do you need to submit any innovation concept notes on that?
Right. So as a standard for most hackathons, you need to submit a concept note that demonstrates what your hypotheses are, what problem you're trying to solve. You want to be able to understand, for instance, the nature of the solution, who the target audience are. So you need to submit that. But the most important thing is, to apply, you have to go to the Bank of Ghana website. So on the Bank of Ghana website, you can go to the Fintech and Innovation section, and in there's an e-Cedi hackathon section. You can fill in the application there and include all the details, and subsequently also submit your concept notes. Finally, I should mention that initially our deadline was actually this Friday, but on the basis of several requests that we have received, we have considered extending the deadline to Monday to allow a lot more people to be able to apply for this innovation hackathon.
Talking about participation, is it only limited to Ghanaians?
No, so this is actually not going to be limited to Ghanaians, although we expect Ghanaians to apply the most. So if you're non-Ghanaian, you have to join a team of Ghanaians to be able to participate, but an individual non-Ghanaian cannot apply by themselves. We want to also make sure we are harnessing the local talent and giving them that opportunity as well.
Now, Kwame, talk to me about the kind of support you have for participants.
Okay, so participants in the e-Cedi hackathon will actually have the opportunity to be guided, to be given access to user guides on how to navigate the platform that we've set aside. So this is a sandbox type environment. It's cordoned off from the broader real live world, but it's a replica of how this can work. And so people can build on it. So we'll give you access to the user guides. We'll give you access to the technical platform and its connectivity, the APIs. And also through the process, we'll give you access to mentors and guides who will partner with Nest on this. But there'll be several people with rich backgrounds and experiences from all walks of life who actually help some of these innovators as they further refine and develop their concepts of innovation.
And what technological resources will participants have access to?
Well, they'll have access to the APIs, they'll have access to all the other key elements that they would need to really be able to build their product and also connect it into perhaps other tools that they would need, they would be relevant depending on what their proposal is. But we'll give them access to all the necessary APIs, the BoG hackathon platform as well, to be able to build their product on there.
How long will these last, and what is the schedule of events? I do know that you've mentioned that you've had to extend the dates the deadline, I should say, because of increasing participations you are recording.
Certainly. So now we're moving it to 23rd September, which is this Monday. And the initial selection will be done by 27th, and there will be a pitch day. This is when people come and pitch the concepts we have beyond what we have read. And then also there will be a second selection that will happen on the 8th of November after the 3rd of November pitch day. And then there will be a prototyping period. So this is the period within which the innovators will have the opportunity to start working on their innovation, developing it from a technology standpoint. So this is where the programming happens between the 8th and the 30th of November. And there'll be a demo day on the 8th of December, so we can see what everyone is doing. And finally, there were 2 more activities. The first one being the judging and finals. That's where we'll select the winners of the hackathon. And there will be a ceremony as well, an award ceremony on the 15th of December to commemorate the end of that whole process.
Great. Ultimately, I want you to tell me the benefits of this hackathon to the winners, basically.
Okay, so there will be some prizes, both cash and non-cash prizes, from both the Central Bank of Ghana, and our partners with whom we're working, so the Dara Foundation and Tech. There will be some prizes. But most importantly, I think for those who are going to be participating in this, the broader opportunity is the ability to really help define what the future of digital currency usage would look like in Ghana. And for those who intend going on to build businesses around this and innovations around this, this is a first and very, I think, important opportunity for them to get their hands on some of these innovations and perhaps get a head start on developing what the future of payment products and innovation would look like.
Great. Thank you very much, Kwame Opong, for your time here on Business Life. He's the Director of Fintech and Innovations at the Bank of Ghana, speaking to us on currency there. Let's stay a while longer within the space because players in the fintech space have welcomed the introduction of e-Cedi, a digital currency launched by the Bank of Ghana. The e-Cedi was introduced to help government include the unbanked population into the digital economy. Speaking during an engagement, Head of Sales and Marketing at KPMG Ghana, Akisi Aka, is hopeful the e-Cedi will make significant strides as the mobile money transfer services.
I mean, just like all innovation, people are a bit, you always have a bit of inertia about it. But really, just like mobile money when it was introduced, we all thought it was a strange animal in our environment. But look how it's thriving now. This morning when I was listening to the radio, the Bank of Ghana has actually opened up a competition to, incorporate, encourage, innovators to bring in ideas, to contribute ideas, to make sure that this is actually a platform or a user channel that we can actually understand, that we can actually incorporate into our lifestyles, that we can actually build into our businesses. So let's see how it goes and how it can benefit Ghana as a whole.
Away from that, some manufacturers and export companies are still concerned about the exchange rate regime, indicating it is increasing their cost of operations. The cedi in recent months has been stable, but these exporters say it is not reflecting on the operations. According to management accountant at Gilson Manufacturing Company, Emmanuel Kosa, most export companies incur losses due to the hike in taxes and tariffs, which he describes as killing the private sector. He spoke to Joy Business at the National Customer Choice Awards, Ghana.
Manufacturing exporters at the event bewailed the hike in importation of equipment and other goods for production. They entreated government to focus on supporting industries in the country.
Well, when we export, we expect that returns will come in quickly and in foreign exchange. But we have a few challenges there, and sometimes it delays a bit, and then we have to import all our most of our raw materials. They are very costly. Looking at the economic situation, prices go up and things. So I think that's our main challenge.
The National Customers Choice Awards Ghana is an event organized to solely recognize business excellence by conducting a comprehensive and objective, accurate, independent market research survey to determine brand reputation and customer satisfaction.
You're still watching Business Live here with me, Pius Kojobaka. We are taking a break. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. The Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industry, Chiona Mafelu, has called on government to take immediate actions to tighten this country's borders against smuggling. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Afelu said smuggling of cheap and inferior products hurt local manufacturers by pricing them out of the market. He spoke at the Greater Accra annual meeting and seminar of the Association of Ghana Industries.
The seminar and annual meeting for the Greater Accra Regional Chapter of the Association of Ghana Industries hosted officials from the Ghana Free Zones Authority and the Africa Trade Academy. The ceremony was designed to take members through the rudiments of cross-border trade. Speaking to Joy Business, the chairman of the Greater Accra Regional Chapter of AGI, Chonam Akpelo, called on government to tighten the borders and develop policies to protect the local economy.
We are fully aware that some of fake inferior sanitary pads are being imported, are being smuggled to the country without going through the proper borders and paying the right duties. So it's become very cheap, but the standards are low, and making our local production of sanitary pads uncompetitive. We need the borders to be fixed. We need to deal with this issue as a matter of urgency. Issues around sanitary pads, for example, are matters that borders on health and health of our women.
On the development of the local rice industry, Mr. Akpelo urged government to emulate Nigeria's policy and implement robust policies to reduce the country's dependence on imported rice.
If I were an investor and I was living outside the country and I wanted to invest in the rice production in Ghana, I would rather go to Nigeria, because Nigeria, the policy on rice production is so clear that they do not allow importation of rice, period. The thing is, Ghana has the capacity to produce rice to supply to the entire Ghanaian market. What is needed is the policy that to prohibit or that to minimize importation of rice.
The CEO of the association, Seth Chum Akwabwa, called for the development of the local supply chain to serve as a dependent source of raw materials.
We realize that the value chains are very important if you really want to increase local production. The entire chain must work. The interesting thing is that most of our big companies are willing and are indeed now doing local sourcing because it makes economic sense. So they are doing local sourcing. If you look at Nestle today buys a lot of the maize they use for Cerelac from the north. So they are doing local sourcing. FarmLook says, I want to source about 80% of my inputs from local sources. But how do I do it? It means the value chain becomes very important, and it brings opportunity to our members across the country if you're able to take advantage of it.
The forum was held on the theme Developing Effective Supply Chains to Take Advantage of After, the Case of SMEs.
Some stakeholders within the events and planning industry have indicated that most of their businesses risk collapsing due to the current economic challenges as the festive season draws closer. According to them, importation of equipment and items for decorations have been so difficult due to the depreciation of the cedi and high import duties. Chief Executive Officer for Global Ovations, Raj Gideons, also blamed the situation on lack of proper regulations. He spoke to Joy Business at the 2023 Ghana Event Summit.
The 18th edition of the Ghana Event Summit is with the vision to create an immersive and transformative event business ecosystem. Stakeholders bemoan the recent hike in taxes. Raj Gideons called for more support from government to aid in streamlining their operations.
I think authenticity, being authentic, that's one, and then sponsorship, of course, is a major challenge. And then also, basically, being original and then sponsorship has been a major issue, because you come up with an initiative today, the next thing you see somebody also doing it without really knowing your metrics and your strategies and everything. So that has been the issue. And what can you do? We don't have any regulatory body. I mean, a proper regulatory body. I'm saying governed by government, because there are lots of bodies, but everyone is a free space, so people are doing everything.
Chief Executive Officer of Cast Vote, Robert Nyadu, called for more partnerships within the industry.
Event organizers were finding it so difficult to get in touch with pioneers. Therefore, we took it upon ourselves to use our brand to get them here, and also to try and network.
The summit was under the theme Innovation and Sustainability in Event, Embracing New Trends and Technology.
Group Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director for GOIL PLC, Kwame Say Prempe, is asking the National Petroleum Authority to take a relook at the pricing of the cylinder recirculation model, which has already started. Under the model, residents will exchange empty cylinders for already filled ones at cylinder exchange points. Mr. Prempe is of the view that GOIL has made a lot of investment in the area, which requires the company to take a major role in its implementation. He spoke to Joy Business at the commissioning of its modern auto gas stations at the GOIL Bema Camp service station.
The modern auto gas station has gas leakage detection alarms, loading arms, sprinkler systems, and emergency shut-off valves, coupled with underground LPG storage tanks fitted with standard equipment. Kwame Prempeh was optimistic of a successful program, but called for reassessment of the pricing.
The original plan of the regulator has changed. I've seen some changes. Indeed, when it started, as I said, we were told that as soon as this one, the CRM was ready, all the small filling stations will go off. Now they've been granted 2 years, which is they're going to run around us. Pricing, NPA has to look at the pricing. They are still working on it. We basically don't have any disagreement with them. Yes, I believe that we have invested so much. If the pace will go faster, it will help us to get what we have invested.
Deputy Minister of Energy Andre Ejapamesa said the opening of the modern auto gas station is in full alignment with Ghana's energy transition pathway to net zero status. He maintained that government is poised to enhance confidence in the use of gas for vehicle fueling and dispel any existing negative safety-related notions on the use of gas for transport purposes.
In the wake of the global efforts at curbing climate change by transitioning to cleaner forms of fuel, Ghana's policy posture has been to adopt natural gas as a transition fuel for power generation and transportation. And as much as global calls have been made for the usage of zero carbon emitting fuels, it must be acknowledged that Ghana cannot leapfrog to the level of nationwide usage of battery or solar-powered vehicles instantly. Against this backdrop of ensuring energy security, an obligation incumbent on every government, the transition to cleaner energy must be realistic, gradual, and corresponsive.
GOIL said it will provide safe LPG delivery to vehicles in Ghana through modern automated methods of delivery.
Amen. Give it up for this.
And that's our part company here on Business Life with me, Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. We'll leave you with some international business stories.